almost on 11 o'clock. You have your agenda, you've had your papers circulated to you, and we'll now just simply go through the meeting in the order of the agenda. So first of all, Dennis, can I ask for apologies for absence? Have you had any apologies?
We've had one apology so far from David Pilby.
Oh, we've got him, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if there's any...
Anybody else got apologies they want to
Anyone I have.
put forward? No? Okay, we'll tick that item. And we move on to the minutes of the AGM of last year. Can I ask you to approve, those of you who were here, the substance of those minutes? You're happy with the accuracy?
Yeah.
Everyone happy with that?
Yes.
Good. So I'll sign them in that case. Yeah.
That goes on the file.
Okay. So the next item is matters arising from the minutes. I had but one, and that refers to the item that talks about the thought that we were going to have a new Old Cicestians tie. And in committee, and together with the CHSB 90 committee, we decided it would be a much better idea to commission and purchase the lapel badges. And in fact, John has items to sell, don't you?
Yes. There's a notice up there advertising they're worth £50, but we'll sell them for £3. So there's a bargain. And yes, I've got those with me today.
Right. So that was the only item I had as matters arising. Anyone else have anything they want to raise that's not on the agenda? Jolly good. We're making famous progress. The next item is my report, the chairman's report, which again you've had a copy of. I will just simply look at it, and if you've got a copy with you, the first paragraph is a factual paragraph. I'd like to highlight in the second paragraph the fact that it has been a momentous year. The CHSB 90, facilitated by the small subcommittee we set up, and I'd like to thank everyone on that committee for their efforts. And I'd also like to highlight the fact that the whole event went off, I think, quite well in absolutely superb weather. I'd like to thank also the other members of the committee who again did a lot of work on the day. The next item I put down, the third paragraph, is Colin Snook and his research on the fallen and the draft book that's now available for purchase, and that will be facilitated again today. Paragraph after that are other events. We had a very good summer event, I thought, which Colin again organised. I do think these summer events, travelling to different places, it is an absolutely fine opportunity for us all to get together and with our spouses and friends. Then the final paragraph of the first page refers to our relationships with the Chichester High School for Boys, and I look to John on my right, whose efforts in this field of keeping us well and truly up to speed with what's going on, and for all the help that we've had from the school when we organised CHSB 90. And I hope we can maintain continuing excellent relations with the school. Over the page, the next paragraph is the website, and I hope you all look at the website. We had a major upgrade of it, and I think it is very much more user-friendly now. There's a lot of good information on it, and again, thanks to Richard over here as webmaster, and Scott Bastian, the website designer, who's the one that actually does the nuts and bolts of getting it organised. Then the next paragraph refers to other aspects of our work, the lapel badge, and the fact that Darryl Wolfe has been very helpful. Darryl Wolfe has been very helpful in his assistance and support for our local meetings now. And finally, I'm a bit sort of proactive, I hope, in that final paragraph I put in, which refers to trying to encourage new membership, trying to find initiatives to get the younger old people involved, and, dare I say it, possibly the consideration of good relationships with the girls at Chichester High School for Girls. Much shaking of head over in the corner from our dinosaur, Richard. Right, so that's my report. Does anyone have any questions or any comments on that report? No, thank you very much. Then moving on from there, we come to the next item on the agenda, which is the finance and membership report. And I'd like John perhaps to take over that one. John?
Okay, well, you should have in your pack the details about, first of all, the overview of the Cicestians finances. So you can see the big difference this last year with the amount of monies, income and expenditure on the CHSB 90 event. I'm pleased to say that through generous donations that we received in a range of different ways, that has covered its costs. So that is good, it's just covering its costs. And we still have a last few things that we have committed to. We've got the lapel badges, and Alan has his excellent book, both of which are available for sale today. So if we can cover those, that will mean that we're really safe on the finance front. Otherwise, the stamps I mentioned, we use those for sending stuff out to all the members. We've still got over 760 stamps available, so that's going to last us a few years. And as such, you know, that's a very good investment. The website, as has already been mentioned, it really has come of age. It is so much more advanced than it used to be and so on. And that now incurs with it a certain amount of regular maintenance, and so there will be a regular expenditure for that. But this year the total cost is about £300, just over 300. So that's certainly very, very good value. And you have to say that the price that Scott charges us for his expertise is very, very low indeed. It's extremely good. But that, you know, that's going to be one of our really prime ways of communicating with other people all the way around the world. And those who are at CHSB 90 will know that there were people from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, you know, all over the place. Sorry,
South Africa.
Bognor, yeah, there were some yes, they had walked. So the website is going to be the way to communicate with that sort of grouping. Otherwise, so as I say, I've mentioned about the lapel badges and the books which are going to be available. The membership, in fact, it is very fluctuating. And whilst a couple of weeks ago when I wrote this it was 161, the present time it's 153. That isn't because necessarily people have left, but it is if their annual payment, subscription isn't put in, then I have to assume that they are, after 2 years, I assume they're no longer wishing to be a member. It means they've cancelled a standing order or something of that sort. So we're currently at 153, but that's still a good figure. The income, or these two accounts at the moment, they fluctuate all the time, but at the moment the savings account is 1,542 and the current account, as of last night, is 1,583. So we've got just over £3,000 in total in our funds there. On the other side is the approved audit of the accounts, which I'm, as always, very grateful to Trevor James, John's brother, who is extremely helpful. And I say those are all approved, the figures balanced, and so I got that through, as you see, last week. So that is, as far as I'm concerned, all there is on the finance. And as I say, the membership, the aspect that Bill mentioned about trying to get the younger ones, it is difficult. It's very difficult. They still have friendship groups, but they are a long way from most of you are sat in this room, age-wise and so on. And for that reason, I believe they do find, and their lifestyles are quite different. And I think many of us who are sitting here who've got sons and daughters will know that their contact with the schools, wherever they went, is not what it was with you. And so we have to be pragmatic about that. And I think that if we can just advertise if they are putting an event on, so we can just act as a conduit for that, that's probably as far as we're going to get. The guys who I got to sponsor the display boards were all very willing to give up their couple of £100. Lovely fellows, very successful businessmen. Henry Ellens, the estate agent, has most of Chichester. David, the son, he runs it now. Very happy to give up the monies there. So many other people, Beaver Tool Hire just up there over here, Neil Johnson, very happy to do it. But well, they're committed because of their work as well on Saturdays. but yes, they were offered a complimentary ticket here, and none of them have taken it up. So I think we have to be realistic. I'm not sure that we are going to be able to move too much farther on that front, but it doesn't mean we give up on it. I think that's all from me.
Thank you very much, John. Questions of the Treasurer stroke Secretary. Does anyone have any questions about the annual accounts? Jeff, you got a hand up?
Just a case of the ones who drop out for some reason or another. You said after 2 years you forget about them. So
Don't forget about them. What I do is, on the list, there's the membership list, and below it is those who haven't paid for 2 or more years. So it is on there. Often we will be aware that they are ailing or things of that type. If they passed away...
Excuse me a minute. Yes, I'm ready.
What that is, you've got to show your best
It's
side.
double LS on the end. Yes. So that is why, normally, if I think there's a good reason, then often if they're here, I will give them a quiet word. And so try and encourage them.
How many again? Was it about 20? Did I?
No, what that have not from what last year to this year.
Yeah.
No, it's gone down from 160s, low 160s to 150, 153.
That's nearly 20.
No, you've got to remember that
What money are you working in, Jeff?
if I might help, John, there was a subscription year. We try to make this as the subscription year, 1st of November, haven't we? So people will fall off that end if they haven't renewed.
Just to clarify that point, I was still, when Graham persuaded people to take up standing orders, it was the 1st of November and also the 1st of December. Now, anyone who's paying on the 1st of December, I'm assuming they're still present because it's only today will I find out whether that's been paid in or not. So they're carried over as members. It's only those who go cardless or standing order or pay by cash who for at least 2 years have not paid that they move down. And if they were, and occasionally they will suddenly realise their error and they'll pay again, they immediately go back onto the system. So that's the way it is.
Actually, there are so many different aspects to membership, aren't there? Someone jokingly said, oh, some from Bognor, some from Littlehampton, some from down Hampshire. Those were the sort of people who came to the boys' high school. If they return to the area and they return to their home patch, very few of them will think Chichester's my patch. And I think as well, it's fairly obvious that the former pupils, generally speaking, are people who have been professionals in some way. I mean, there must be a lot of ex-Lancastrian lads living in Chichester, but as you know, we didn't have a very big response when we changed the name to Cello.
Can I just mention that with CHSB 90, there are a number of people who attended that who aren't members, and that wasn't a problem at all, but we have listed those. Jonathan is taking over the membership side of things, and I've given him a list of all those who attended who aren't members, so that's something we can communicate, because we've got their email addresses, and say, you know, would you like to join? So we are trying to chase up on those.
So in the very near future, Jonathan and I will get together and we'll send out an email to these people, encouraging them perhaps to join.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
Oh, yes, I know.
We just have to see what happens. Yeah. Any other questions of the accounts or membership? Seeing none, I therefore need approval of the accounts, please. Can someone propose those? And can we all vote then for that? Looks like unanimous if you put your hand up, Colin. We'll call it unanimous. Right. We'll move on to item 6. And that's the general data regulation statement. Now, you'll all be aware that this general data regulation